In 2022, the collider detector at Fermilab reported a measurement of the W-Boson mass that challenged the foundational predictions of the Standard Model. The collaboration measured the mass at 80,433 mega-electronvolts, placing it significantly higher than the theoretical prediction of 80,357 mega-electronvolts. By 2026, the compact muon solenoid experiment at CERN provided a high-precision countermeasurement derived from an analysis of 300 million events. This newer measurement yielded a mass of 80,360.2 mega-electronvolts. While this figure aligns more closely with standard predictions, the discrepancy between the two collider datasets remains unresolved. Standard physics manages these conflicting results through nuisance parameters, adjustable variables used to reconcile theoretical uncertainties with the dynamics of the detectors. The theory of infinity provides a different interpretation of this data through a parameter-free topological framework. TOI defines nuisance parameters as direct empirical measurements of topological friction activated by differing collision conditions. This table compares the theoretical ceiling and the CDF anomaly against the 80,360.2 mega-electronvolt calculation derived by the framework. The framework calculates this exact figure through integer geometric fractional drag, utilizing zero free parameters. The ability of an abstract topology to map a collider observable without data fitting suggests the underlying axioms of the Standard Model require structural reevaluation. The theory of infinity rejects the Higgs mechanism as the source of inertia for the W-Boson. Instead of a dimensionless point in a field, the framework models the W-Boson as a stable toroidal defect. It is stabilized by laminar shear within the hexatic tube. Specific spinorial operations called acute twists organize topological potential into a manifest particle rail. The matter-not-packet theorem explains why this massive defect persists rather than relaxing into an untwisted wave. Secondary grave twists permanently bury unresolved topological friction into a latent tensor state, locking the external twists in place. These twist dynamics produce the specific observable helicity states mapped in collider data. Inertial mass is the direct consequence of these localized geometric misfits actively resisting the physical process of untwisting. The raw mass of this defect is derived through the orthogonal Tribonacci rotation. Pairing specific nodes from the sequence produces the integers 137 and 252. Applying a standard Euclidean norm to this integer pair yields the Pauli geometric norm. This result, 82,273 mega-electronvolts, represents the undiluted geometric ceiling of the W-Boson defect. This theoretical ceiling is not observed directly in physical colliders because the value must propagate through 3D spatial geometry. As the mass propagates, the volumetric limits of the system fundamentally dilute its value. This dilution is quantified as Tribonacci fractional phase drag. The specific drag constraint is dictated by the rational rail of 19/28. Applying this drag filters the raw mass down to 80,360.2 MeV, matching the CMS data exactly. This sequence proves that collider mass is hard-coded into integer geometric recurrence limits. These highly specific sequence constants are generated by the Amanda root engine, a co-inductive fixed-point computational automaton. The engine iterates the Fibonacci and Tribonacci sequences to establish the framework's spatial limits. The 19/28 drag fraction is the exact mathematical residue of the gap between the 3D volumetric limit and the 2D golden plane generated by the engine. Operating on a one unknown, one operation logic, the Conrad invariant serves as the sole operator that compresses infinite potentials into these stable rails. Standard quantum field theory manages infinite thermodynamic accumulation through the manual subtractions of renormalization. The Amanda engine resolves this issue natively using a topological audit called a ring-Poisson inversion. This inversion enforces a mean-zero energetic potential, ensuring perfect thermodynamic balance within the system's geometry. Ultimately, this geometric engine completely replaces the outdated need for arbitrary phenomenological subtractions with a system of perfect, exact topological closure across the framework. Beneath the Amanda ring lies the lowest-level geometric substrate of the framework. This is the feather pulse, a directed acyclic graph that provides the foundation for causal progression. The central shaft of this lattice represents the net forward temporal vector. The alternating lateral barbs are chiral plus-minus phase operations that govern local parity. This specific architecture prevents global temporal reversal or causal backtracking. The lattice is governed by a strict topological rule, the law of winding emergence. Winding emergence ensures that mathematical refinement followed by a symmetry operation cannot yield a more disordered state. Within this logic, infinity is the active topological plenum, organized by a forward-only causal structure. This strict deterministic path leads from the foundational topological base, moving directly outward to the actual manifestation of physical matter. The feather pulse enforces the causality that the Amanda engine uses to generate the spatial limits of the 1928 drag, resulting in the precise W-Boson mass of 80,360.2 MeV. This positions diffeomorphism invariance as an emergent consequence of topological closure, rather than a primitive axiom. This perspective identifies a systemic error in contemporary physics, called the quantum trap. The quantum trap is the habit of confusing numerical representations and arbitrary decimal approximations, mistaking them for actual foundational physical structure. The reliance on hand-tuned variables in the standard model suggests a confusion between thermodynamic exhaust and the generative cosmic engine itself. A theory is fundamental only if its invariants close natively across abstract mathematical ontology, discrete algorithmic computation, and empirical physical data. The truth of physics rests in the geometric limits that construct the infinite plenum into a stable causal world.